All right, everyone, what's up? Welcome back to the Tomo podcast, where just a bunch of friends sharing opinions, topics, and stories. So we got Ippei right here on mic 1.
Hold up, I just met Raymond, so like you can't say friend. I'm just kidding.
We got Raymond on mic, I think 3 or 4, and then we got Ivan over there with the other mic, and then Jeremy's just chilling.
I'm here.
What's up, Raymond? You sent me a nice little DM.
Yeah, I fulfilled my goal that I had stated I was going to do.
What was your goal?
I was going to get some.
Well, elaborate.
What's today?
And today's the day I got some.
And today's Valentine's Day?
Today's the 14th.
Oh,
Yo, Valentine's Day. I got some the 13th and the 14th. I didn't even have to beg.
Oh my gosh.
Nah, I got her some food. You know, I gave her a little teddy bear with some candies, and then I was like, all right, let me get my gift.
Oh,
I got one
that's
gift,
your
and I went
gift.
to town.
All right. Wow.
And then I sent a DM to a lot of people.
Had to screen record for the one time.
I had to show. I couldn't be all talk. Had to be action.
Well,
Jeremy,
my Valentine's, I got a trick.
what trick is that?
I mean, Ippei and Ivan didn't let me get away with the first one I wanted. They're like, I don't know.
You know, just as Raymond got blessed, I think you should bless the viewers with the trick that's,
Yeah.
worthy.
Well, the trick's
Bro,
gonna.
why are you looking at me?
Because it's gonna come.
Time, bro.
Well, look, if I turn my neck, all right, we're in the car, and I can't really turn back all the way without my waist hurting, and then like my neck is turned, so I have to look at Ippei, but I'm like mentally thinking about everyone else.
Why
looking
don't
at
you
all
just
of
do
us.
what I'm doing?
It was like
It's because I'm burnt. Look, I have a burnt right here, Mark.
the last time we talked in the car, I was looking out the back window, and I wasn't even looking at anything. I didn't, I was so into the conversation, but Jeremy kept breaking his neck trying to look at what I was looking at. And I was just looking, it's not like I'm going to make eye contact with the person I'm talking to, you guys, all the time, but I'm just, I was in the topic we're talking about.
Yo, when I'm out hanging out with these dudes, they're just on their phone, and I'm just like, oh shit, they can fucking talk for a good minute. I was like, damn, bro, but you gotta appreciate moments where you're just chilling, But like, I know you gotta reply to sometimes, but like, I'm like, you can be on your phone whenever, So I was just like, damn, you guys are actually having a conversation. This is sick. I was like, this is how it should be in person, like without the podcast or without the video, like.
I feel like we genuinely have conversations without the podcast. That's why I want to capture it, because sometimes we say some wild stuff, and I'm like, oh snap.
Yeah.
But
Very true.
you guys gotta appreciate moments where like you have homies that you can just be in silence too,
Live in the now.
Remember-
Well,
Live in
that's
the
saying a lot coming from you, because I would be in silent and you'd be like, hey, are you okay? And I'm like, yeah, what the I'm just like, I have my arm hanging out the window, and the wind's just blowing, and I'm just chilling,
You good,
and
bro?
you're like, you good? You good?
Whoa,
You good, bro?
okay, because I was filming this guy named Ivan once, right? And I'm like, are you alright? And he's like, damn, I gotta make sure I ask myself that every time, like daily. So I was just like, yo, I know, like on some real shit, like people like not trying to take it lightly, but I'm just like, damn, like people don't talk about their problems. So I'm just like, yo, you alright? And he's like, shit, I have to ask myself daily. I was like, so I'm just trying to look out for the homies, I don't want to be like, yo, like, just kind of go down the wrong path,
Ippei, you good?
Don't trip, homie.
We've already experienced
Yeah,
silence and without the phone. We were out there in Jumbo Rock, and it was quiet, and everyone kind of...
Joshua Tree.
Yeah, Joshua Tree, Jumbo Rock. And we were kind of looking at our phones, and it's funny because we'd conversate, look at our phone. No service.
No, that was sick because we had no service, so we were forced to talk.
Yeah, until we were trying to get ready for sleep, and some people kept blasting music at 1 a.m.
Who?
This guy,
Me?
Ippei, yeah.
Ippei was blasting music.
I don't
at
even
1 in the
remember
morning.
that.
I don't
You-
remember that either.
Bro, you were in a different dimension.
Nah,
You're
we were in the
smoking
tent. We were in the tent, and you were watching something, and you're just playing your video loud as hell. So I don't.
Well, like, you gotta take into consideration, I'm like half deaf.
Yeah, I know.
So
So
it
you
wasn't
were.
loud. So loud is subjective.
Yeah.
Damn,
whatever.
subjective is a good word too.
So like,
Subjective.
someone
That's
with hearing
overplayed.
aids- Someone with hearing aids
It's
might be like,
subjective.
yo, it's not as loud.
But you are right about the checking up on your friends thing, because it seemed like a lot of people recently have been committing suicide and getting depressed. It's more frequent now than ever.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm hearing people say that they're depressed. My grandma was telling me she was depressed, and you know, it kind of brought concern because she said some things that all of us in the room were like, "The heck." You know, are you okay? But I also see it pushed out in a lot of feeds too on Instagram. You know, you see it in stories. It's like, you know, call a counselor, call.
That's for sure
Call-
awareness, but it's like it's different when someone actually hits you up.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people won't be down and just be upfront about it. That
Mhm.
takes courage,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like just the age of technology, you're not gonna just talk to someone physically, you know.
I feel like
Right,
it's hard to
person.
know what's the right thing to say when somebody like hits you up, like with
Well,
those type
what-
of things, like, you know.
Well, what would you think is the right thing to say? Like, if you're
That's what I'm saying. I would.
I already told Ippei my code if some shit ever goes down, and I
'Cause it's
can't.
like-
No, like Ippei knows the code. We're driving to San Diego, and I told him,
remember
I
that.
told him, dude, if I'm ever in some shit, yeah. I can't say it on the podcast because like it's some secret shit, but just know Ippei knows if I'm in the car and I don't say anything and I do the secret code, he knows.
But then what does he do? Like, what?
I'll tell you when the podcast's done. I can't say it anymore. That's as far as I'll go.
Well, that's no
That's
fair.
literally no context.
I can't say it, but like, look, he's already doing it. The code is what
But
he's doing.
but
Look,
okay, if someone hits you up and they're like, "Yo, like I've been going through some shit. Like I'm feeling really depressed. Like I don't know what to do in my life. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like,
You don't know how to give them advice.
yeah. Then what do you say to that? You're just like, oh, keep your head up.
You say life takes care of us.
Like,
Hey, that's some.
That's
I
what
mean,
Mowgli
I don't
says.
know, but
Mowgli
like,
says
someone
life
just
takes care of
pours
us.
a bunch of shit out on you, and you're just like,
I feel like
you thought they were cool. Like you thought they were fine. Like you see them all the time, and they're like smiling.
I remember one time a friend of mine when I was at the skate park, and he was just telling me that they're feeling down and all these things that they want to do. And the way I said it, I should have thought what I was going to say before I said it, but I remember just saying, just do you. And he took it the wrong way. He got pissed. And he was like, just do you? What the do you mean? And he was just like, really? You just said that? And I was like, no. Just what I'm saying is don't focus on all these external things. Just do you, man. Focus on, all these things are going to get to you. And I felt bad. I'm getting choked up talking about it right now because I was like, sometimes I think it's just to think before you speak, because sometimes you could just, it's best to just listen. Like if someone says something, I'm feeling this kind of way, you're just like, oh, well, I'm sorry, man. Like you want to talk about it, what's going on, and you just listen. But then sometimes, before all this stuff happened with quarantine, we used to think like, okay, this guy's gotten to a point where it's like, this is all you talk about, kind of suck it up, Like,
For sure.
there's those people that just always talk.
I think you just gotta give them a listen and then just be nice about it because you never know if they're actually serious.
Yeah.
Like if it's a homie, I guess you can take it like to a certain extent as a joke.
Mm-hmm.
But if like you should probably be able to tell like when they're opening up to you, like they're serious.
Mm-hmm.
And you might not have the best like advice, but I've heard like just opening up, like half of your problem is already gone just because you talked about it with someone.
Yeah.
Like half of that,
getting
like
that off of your chest.
relief. Yeah, it's just out of your chest at least.
that's why you vent to people. Trust me, like I vent so much that I personally feel like good all the time.
But there's people like that don't have to, like myself. And I remember watching this TikTok, like this chick was like, yo, like props to those people that just like get through the day without having to like express it. And there are people that can, so like props to those people. But like if you need to talk to people, go talk to people, but just
Some
don't
people
fucking
don't
say
even-
it,
Some people don't even have like that close of friends to be able to speak to people like that. Some
That's
people
why.
have those type of friends where all they do is just mess around, and they're just like, oh, I can't like be serious with them because
Straight up. People can't talk to me sometimes.
Do you want to tell us something now, Jeremy?
No, but it's
Nah.
on the podcast, so
if
he
I had
can't be
to,
saying that shit.
I'd reach out to you guys.
I'd be there.
There was a
Like,
time when I thought I was playing too much with Jeremy, and I talked to Mowgli about it, and I said, yo, I need to chill, you know, because I'm really hard on Jeremy. I used to be really
How
hard on
hard?
Jeremy.
He is, bro.
Oh my god.
All right, down. Okay.
No, he didn't.
Because every single time, like, I don't know, like, whenever there's something difficult that, like, for instance, like, we'll go running, and I'll want to, like, if I want to quit, like, you know what I mean, at midpoint or, like, some point in the run, like, Ivan will literally get behind me and be like, nah, fuck that, keep going, like, you can't stop, like, you gotta keep
I feel like that's
keep
not
pushing.
on the same level as like
I'm telling
depressed
you,
or
yeah,
Yeah,
something.
it's like on a different
you're just
genre.
like that's just like, yo, dude, get up, stop being a bitch or something. Like,
No,
you're not
but-
gonna tell that to someone that's depressed. That's like, yo, like I'm broke, like I'm heartbroken. But like running, it's like, oh, you can quit and just walk home if you want or something. Like I feel like as friends you can.
No,
say
but he
that,
always pushes me. I just wanted to put that out there. 'cause
Yeah.
it popped in my head.
like in a good way.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, no, that's what I was
Like,
afraid of.
With everything, like even the other day we were skating the handrail, and I back 50'd it, and I was gonna sit down. I was like, all right, cool, like heck yeah, I got my trick I was trying, and then I was like, no, fuck that, keep back 50'ing it, keep back 50. I was like, fuck, all right, and then he's like, or backsmith it, and I was like, fuck, I'll try backsmith, fuck that, and then I ended up landing it. So
That was sick. Props.
So you're just like, I'll go
Inside
fuck.
joke right here.
No.
That's a real. That was a real compliment.
Yeah, no, really.
But if I'm a joke, I'm gonna be like, how long you gonna play it out?
No, but seriously.
You had to put it on the podcast.
No, the reason
I'm kidding,
why
I'm
I'm
kidding.
so hard on Jeremy is because he used to send me a lot of
Dick pics?
No.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I feel like we got to throw some humor in every once in a while. If it was funny, I don't know.
Dude, Ippei be non-stop be thinking about that.
Dude, it's just funny. Like, Seth's TikTok is the funniest shit ever, bro.
Ippei's main,
Like, have you seen that?
Ippei's main source of jokes is dicks, bro.
Nah, bro.
Like-
I just called out your backsmith, bro.
About to do it. Anyways,
What's up? Sorry?
you got water? You got water?
Sorry, brother.
I have. Do you want this? You can have it.
All right, thank you guys. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too.
All right, cool.
Happy
All right,
Valentine's Day.
So we just had some.
Some homeless dude is taking a pill behind our car, and
He's doing his thing,
He
you
pulled
know?
up right next to me. I had no clue what he was asking me, and I saw this blue pill in his hand,
I knew he wanted water.
and
'cause
he
kept
was
saying, "I
like
want water."
something. But as we mentioned earlier, I talk too loud or I can't hear some shit, so I couldn't understand what he was saying.
He just wanted something to swallow.
He
the
wanted
pill with.
water.
Yeah, and then
So
I
I
was
gave
like,
him my Snapple, bro.
I was like,
It was
damn, I
like
got
water.
water next to me, but who knows if he's got COVID.
He was like, I want water.
And so I saw the pill in his hand after he said that. I'm like, oh, okay, he wants water, but it's like right next to me. And I was like, dang, should I say yes or no? Because I feel weird if I say yes. I mean, no, and he sees the water bottle and calls me out. And dude fucking sticks his hand right into the car, and I was like,
Reaching for
like,
you, about to
anything
give you
can
a hug.
happen.
And
Like, I'll take
That's
that.
true.
I'll take that right there. In
I
your
guess I'm
hand.
too much of a trustworthy guy.
okay,
and,
okay.
like,
I think I got a good story about like this homeless.
you
man.
had a mask
Alright.
on,
After
bro.
you finish
We
it,
didn't
yeah.
have a mask.
All right, so one time I was with one of my friends. We're in Little Tokyo, and she had cash out, and this homeless dude asked her for money. I didn't really hear what the guy said earlier. I didn't really hear what the guy said, but she especially didn't hear what the guy said. And as she had money out, she said no to the homeless man. And like, I'm pretty sure I was filming, so I posted the clip, and some kid commented like, "Yo, is it this black guy with the cross on his forehead?" I was like, no, I don't think so, because he was telling me like how there's this like, he's a regular there. And I remember this like guy one time, I was like chilling there, and he asked me for like money because he got out of the jail. And I was like, sorry bro, but I was like kind of down to buy him a drink, but the store was kind of far, so it didn't happen. But I was like, oh, he has a cross on his forehead, so I was thinking it might be him. And then I think every time I went back to Little Tokyo, maybe like at least 8 times now, I've seen him. And every time he's like, yo, I just got out of jail. It's like, you got me? Like, I need some help. And I'm always like, oh, sorry, you know. But I've always wanted to be like, yo, how many times are you gonna go back to jail? Like, you told me this last time, but like this fool looks buff. Like, he'll fuck me up. But there was this one last time. I was with my friend from Japan, and as we're paying, so we were in Little Tokyo, like I said, and I was telling him I see this guy all the time, and he asks for money. Same story. And then as we're leaving, paying for the parking, the guy shows up as we're leaving, and this time he didn't ask for money. This time he asked for a ride, and I'm like, oh, sorry, we can't do that. But my friend offered money, and the homeless guy was like, I don't want your money, I want a ride. And I'm like, dude, you can take the bus with that. He's like, nah. But my friend paid with cash, and we didn't know how to get our change. And the homeless guy was like, oh, it's right there. So he could have stole the change, but he was like, yo, since I was being a homie, give me a ride. And I'm like, no. And then so he's a regular there. I remember
when
one
you're
time.
a skateboarder, you spend most of your time skating the streets. So the more time you spend on the streets, the more crazy the things you see.
That comes back to, like, I remember wanting to make this TikTok because, like, there's always this joke, like, I don't know, I guess you can say like a slut or something, or like a girl that hooks up with a lot of guys. Like, it's like, oh man, she belongs to the streets. But then I'm like, I was gonna make some shit like, oh, like, in that kind of way it's bad, but like as a skater, you want to belong to the streets because that's where it is, you know. But like, I guess in this generation, it doesn't really matter. Like, skating wise, like, street doesn't matter, park doesn't matter. But
It's kind of crazy.
I like to keep it traditional. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if we're gonna get into skateboarding, but it's just, the videos just don't hit a vibe anymore. It's not exciting. I don't even watch skate videos as much as I used to. They're just kind of boring. It's just, there's no excitement to it. It just comes out randomly. There's no promo either.
There's no wait time anymore.
Which is cool, but it just, there's no excitement to it. The premieres are boring too. 5-minute premieres at a bar that's just replaying. Just the theater experience is where it's at.
Yeah. We went to
Yeah.
the Plan B premiere, and it was.
You were there too?
Yeah.
The LA one?
Plan
Yeah.
B
The
true.
Plan B True.
Yeah, we were in there. The first showing.
What row?
On
B12?
the left. It was on the left, the very left side.
No, okay, I wasn't there. Imagine I was there.
Yeah.
Right now, when you said Bakersfield's crazy, it reminded me of Ivan telling me a story, how a cop, like, basically was rough with him, and
What do you mean by
What'd he
rough?
do?
Explain rough.
Oh,
I mean, Ivan could explain it because he experienced it.
What did you experience?
What did he touch?
Well-
What did he touch you?
He touched me.
Oof.
Well, I think I was 13 or 14.
Damn.
And,
rape.
And but basically we had gone into Stern and we were skating. The gate was literally wide open, the front gate. And when we got there were some kids that had climbed onto the roof, and they were just being dumb. They were just, I don't know how they got a trash can up there, but they were just throwing stuff around from the top of the roof and just yelling and stuff. And so we went to the back of the school, and you know where those two curved ledges are? No one really skates because they're really dry, but
Well, people listening might not even know, so it probably doesn't matter.
but this is for, I mean, well,
two,
anyone who
just
is
curved,
listening.
two curved ledges.
Yeah, exactly. And locals know what I'm talking about. So we were in the far back, right? So it's kind of secluded. But I was just sitting down, and I was just flicking my board while sitting. You know how you pop it up, flick it? And I had my headphones, and I was playing loud music. And basically, I was just sitting there for 30 minutes because my friends were trying something on one of the ledges near. And I look up, and I swear, dude, this cop, he was like 6 feet tall, red as heck. Like he was big, and he had his glasses on, and he was just yelling at the top of his lungs.
Like,
You could see every vein pop out in his throat, like spitting while he's yelling at me. And he's about 2 or 3 feet away. I'm not even kidding. And I look up, and my heart stopped. I got so scared. I took out my headphones, and he was yelling at the top of his lungs. That's probably how loud I had my music really loud, so I did not hear anything around me.
Yeah.
And so the moment I took him out, He's just like, I said, do you fucking hear me, boy? And I'm not kidding. Then he's like, you fucking hear me? And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry, officer. I didn't know. I am so sorry. I had my headphones in. He's like, I said, do you hear me? And I got up, and then he just like grabbed my hand, twisted my wrist, and pressed it towards my chest, and was just pressing it down. And I was just like being pushed back, and I thought he was gonna break my arm. He's like, you fucking move, I'll break your fucking arm. I was scared shitless. I was like, officer, I didn't. And he's just like, how the fuck did you guys get in? And then my friend, I don't want to say any names, but he knows who he is, and he was laughing in the back, and he's like, think this is a joke? He's like, no, officer. And he kept laughing because I don't know if he was laughing at me, just like talking back. I wasn't talking back to the officer. I was just like, no, officer, no, officer. And I thought he was going to break my wrist, but stupid friend in the back was just laughing still. But I was like, he goes, how did you guys get in? And I said, the front door was open, you know, and then he like pushed me back, and he's like, I was like, how did you get in? And then he's like, oh, think you're fucking smart, huh? And I was just like, no, that's how we got in. And so I was just like, you know, I didn't say much. And then he says, well, we got a call from across the street. They said you guys are smoking weed and throwing stuff on top of the roof. And I said, I was like, those were the other kids that were skating. He's like, well, they told us that it was you guys. And I was like, I guess the kids had got down and
dipped.
Yeah, and dipped. And while they were dipping, the cop probably stopped
And that's
them.
on some skater shit.
Yeah, and then they put it on us, and we were like, we didn't even know what the heck was going on, you know? But that's basically what happened. He walked us out, and the whole time my friend was walking down the hall, and he was in front of the officer, and he was just laughing, and then the officer's walking behind us. He's like, you think it's fucking funny? And he's like, no, officer. And he kept laughing. And I was just like trying to get out of there. That was the second time I ran with the cops. Not ran from the cops, but ran into the cops and dealt with them. And the first time I just know to call him officer, you know. You always just say like, I'm sorry, officer. I know we're trespassing. I wasn't vandalizing. We just came in here to skate, and we'll head out. And usually, most of the time when I go into officer, I say that, and I get out 90% of the time. But yeah, oh man, that sucked. My dad was trying to press a case against the guy. It took like hours, and we got
Against the cop?
Yeah, we got the dispatch.
Wait, so you got a ticket or something, or
No, my dad was trying to
sue him?
file a complaint on the officer and how he treated me, because I really didn't do anything. Obviously trespass, but the gates were wide open, and then we saw the principal too, and they're like, oh, have fun, you know. They didn't care, but it was the kids that had ruined it. They were on top of the roof, and they were smoking, and they were throwing stuff. So yeah, I could see why he got mad, but still, it's
Skateboarding is debatable, man. It's like you can always say like, when you trespass, it's like it wouldn't have happened at the beginning. You know what I mean?
exactly.
But I know the skaters are gonna be like, you're not a real skater if you're saying that shit. Like, I'm like, dude, I don't even know how to back myself on that one. But it's like,
Well,
I can see two sides. Like, it would have never happened if we hopped on the fence. But I'm a traditional street skater, so I'm gonna say like for the skate culture, we're gonna hop the fence, and then someone might be like, what happens if they fucking skate into your house or something?
Mhm.
And I'll be like, oh,
Well, that's on some other shit, because like I think it's just something that I don't even think about anymore. I just hop it and I just go skate. If I get kicked out, I get kicked out. You can't just really say, what if my door is gonna be locked? I'm gonna be at home. It's different if you break the window.
you're gonna hop your backyard.
Then let them. I'll make sure I have a dog ready
I'll
to
make
go.
sure to set your house with the homies one day.
Go for it. I have the transformer rail right there if you're ready to go.
I'll make a mask too, just so you
I
don't know
got
it's
six
me.
dogs. I got 6 dogs ready to go.
And I'm gonna eat them. I'm kidding.
Hey, well,
I'm kidding.
Shit.
well, I'll say this for all the skaters. I mean, 12 years ago, it wasn't the same. I mean, cops here in Bakersfield, a small town, they didn't really accept us going into schools. They used to crack down on us and, give us tickets and, were aggressive with us. But now we have movies like mid-90s and You got Tony Hawk and YouTube and all this stuff that's making skateboarding more acceptable. So I don't think we don't get as much harassment as we do back then.
Dude, it's kind of
Yeah.
crazy. I was at a spot in the Bay Area, and we were about to get kicked out, but they noticed that me and another Braille rider were there, and they're like, "Oh, you guys are here? Oh, that's crazy. Yeah, just make sure that if there's no skateboarding signs there, just don't skate. But if it doesn't have no signs, you're fine. You're fine." And we're like, "Yeah, there wasn't no sign. Literally, like, you can go down there and check yourself." It's like, "Oh, you guys are cool. Just be careful." And I was thinking to myself, "Damn, that's pretty crazy. Like, I've never really got treated like that. Like, it felt nice because I was night filming and I was trying my trick, and I thought it was in the heat in the moment. I really thought I was gonna get kicked out, and those kind of moments like really irritate me because I'm so close, but we were good, and I'm pretty sure we're chilling.
Well,
People, I was gonna say one more thing too. Like, people that are like cops, like they tend to be our age now. So like, I'm 28, and I think like a fellow 28-year-old person would like see it as like, oh, I probably used to skate, because like it's more common that they used to skate or did some type of sport, so they could resonate, and they're not gonna be as furious or be in a mood when they kick you out, unless they literally were in some type of situation beforehand.
Well, I actually think the opposite, as in like skateboarding is more acceptable, or like we don't get kicked out, because there's so many skate parks these days that I feel like it makes us look stupid skating in the street when there's a skate park down the street, you know what I mean? So they're always going to have an excuse like, yo, how come you're inside the school skating when there's a skate park down the street, you know? And that kind of made me bummed on the way of like street skating, you know? Because like they have a more valid excuse to like roast me. But I know I'm doing wrong, but it's just skate culture, you know?
In our defense, I think LA has plenty of skate parks, but for Bakersfield, if a kid doesn't have a mom or pop to take them to this park at this time, you got Stern across the street, and Stern has a lot of obstacles that you don't get to skate. So
I wanted to bring up that one time when it was me, Mowgli, and Ivan skating in downtown LA. This was around Little Tokyo too. It was probably like 3 a.m. I don't know if you guys remember like
Yeah,
that
we
taser
next- yeah, I
incident.
remember that. I
It
remember
was
that.
so
Oh,
funny
yeah,
because
yeah,
I was filming, and Mowgli and Ivan were like in this like hallway, like it kind of looks like the Drake Hotline Bling hallway like music video thing. And as Mowgli was, I saw this like security guard. It looked like he had a gun or like a knife or something, and I'm like, what the hell? And he had a taser, and Mowgli's pulling up, and I was trying to be like, just get one more try. He was not down to like let us get one more try. And what was the first thing he asked you? I think Mowgli pulls up to the rail, and I think we're like, one more try, and then he's like, he asked Mowgli like, he's like, you want to get tased?
And
and
that shit was crazy.
Wait, you barely remembered it right now?
I thought you were talking about the one in Little Tokyo, like
That's how it
the
sounded.
wall rail. But now I know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
and then-
that shit was, hey, that was horny. I was about to say, like, this guy literally,
You got hard from that.
no,
No, okay, all right.
no, but this guy literally, I was like, just one more, and he pressed the taser and he go, or whatever the taser,
He asked you if you want to get tased,
and I was like, oh shit.
and then so I don't think the message came across to Ivan, or I think we're like, yo, like no more skating, so like let's just dip, and so I don't know if it registered to you, Ivan, but I remember I think Ivan for sure wasn't gonna try the trick again, but I think he decided to ride his board to like leave the spot, and he meant like literally not even riding a board, and I was like, oh shit, Ivan's really about to get tased right now. And I don't know how I would have reacted. I probably would have laughed, keeping it real.
yeah, he couldn't have catched me, and I wasn't doing it to upset him either. But yeah, I was like, I'm just riding my board, you know. I was just leaving the spot, but we were in the hallway going up to the stair set, and so I just wanted to get away from him because I was walking and he was just pressing the trigger, you know, making the noise on the
Yeah.
on the taser, and I'm like, you want us to leave, we're leaving. And yeah, so I was just trying to get out of there.
He was a sketchy looking security. I was like, I wish that was Jeremy. I wouldn't be fucking scared, keeping it real.
Nah, he wouldn't.
No, I'm
Have,
kidding,
he wouldn't
I'm
have gotten
I was
us.
trying to see. I was trying to get Jeremy to talk.
What if he's like, I want you to crawl?
I want you to what? Curl?
Crawl.
Crawl.
Like, what if I want you to crawl out of here?
Yeah.
No, I
thought
thought
you
you
said,
walking.
Curl, like after he gets tased, he's like curling.
Curl up.
Yeah.
Jeremy
No,
does that.
if I run into police or security, I'm usually compliant. I learned my lesson, and I don't. I've never been defiant against authority like that. But it's annoying when you go to spots with a group of people, and then there's always that one guy in the group that he's like, you can't tell me what to do. He's like, and it makes it all look bad, and then
Ippei.
we can end up getting tickets or something.
Yeah, I felt bad when we were at that 3 block and like somewhere in LA, like when we like hiked that mountain, like just to skate that spot.
Yeah.
And like this guy
That shit
kicked
was
us out,
tough.
and we were with Jeff too. And then Brian he just kept going and going, and like that guy was kicking us out, but he didn't really do anything. He just stood there, and it's like we probably could have had like a couple more tries, and we didn't leave.
I mean,
I'll shut the fuck up.
Nah, don't.
No.
No, it's because
Kidding.
it's because the homies back here just keep showing images on.
The show.
This
homie
is
showed
what
it.
I mean,
He
bro.
showed
Like
us a
when
meme.
I'm chilling,
He
showed
they're
us
just
a
on
meme.
their phone.
Name was the last thing you ate, and I was like, oh, pussy's the last thing I ate.
Wait, say that again.
What? Nah, cut that out.
His name is the last thing.
I mean, it's called. If anything, I remember what all this reminded me was whenever we were at Hollywood High 12 on Halloween of 2018, I think, and we picked up some random kid in the car, and I don't know what I think I went inside the store, and I left my phone inside the car, and the kid was going through my phone saying he's a dad, and he was like, wait, what?
Well, first of all, this was also awkward because we were skating around like USC, and we saw this kid skating alone, and this whole time, and I think I was the one driving, and out of nowhere, like I don't know how it happened, but he ended up coming in the car with us, and this whole time I thought it was Mowgli's friend, but it wasn't even Mowgli's friend, and so like we just had this like random skater in the car. He might have even been in a gang or something. I feel like he said something like that.
Was I there?
No, you weren't. And so it was really weird. And then, yeah, like Mowgli said, next thing you know, I look over and he's just like, I didn't know Mowgli's a dad. And I'm like, how the fuck do you know? And I'm just like, dude, he's like scrolling through his phone. And I'm just like, dude, this is weird. Like, he's on his phone and shit. That shit was wild. He just kept crying to us, like, how
Send me
he's
that.
not sponsored. Like,
weird.
just skate for fun. And he was like, not trying to get his hopes down, but he was telling us like he wants to get on flip, and I'm like, damn, bro, like homie can't even like 180.
All right, everyone. Thank you for. All right, everyone. This was the Tomo podcast. Thank you for listening. Sayonara till next time.